Light. It's something that we all become so accustomed to. We have the light of the sun, we have the light that comes from electricity, from light bulbs, and we take light for granted, oftentimes. But imagine what it would be like if we lived completely in darkness. Imagine if we were blind. Christ comes today as the light. We hear those words from Simeon who says, "My eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all the peoples, a light for revelation to the Gentiles." Just like there is physical light, there's also spiritual light. And we feel that presence of God's light in our heart when we live in the state of grace, when we're close to Christ, when we ask for His grace. We're not only asking for grace, we're asking for light. And we feel that. How many people who live in sin live in darkness? They feel the weight of darkness in their souls, and yet Christ offers us another path. How many times do we fall away from the light? How many times do we get so accustomed to it that we don't search for light in our lives? We feel the weight of darkness, but oftentimes we desire to live in darkness rather than the light. That's why in the gospel, Simeon goes on and tells Mary that Christ will be a sign that will be contradicted. Well, who doesn't want light? We all want light. And yet sometimes we prefer what is more comfortable. We prefer to hide in the darkness, whether it be in our moral life, meaning that we hold on to things we don't want to let go of. And that's a way of living in darkness, when we don't want to expose ourselves or bring up difficult situations that we're living in. We don't want to talk to a priest. We don't want to go to confession. We don't want to let go of sin. Those are ways of living in the darkness. And that's why the light, even something so good as light, can be a sign of contradiction, because when we are honest, when we're upright, and we want to live in a righteous way, we will always look for light. But if there's times in our life where we don't want to let go of control, then we prefer to hide in the shadows. So today we ask for the grace to always live in the light. And then if there's any part of our hearts that prefers to hide, we ask the grace to also bring those areas to the light, to be healed. And so God can illuminate us. You know, we all love the light when it gives us what we want, when it shows us our path before us, when it illuminates our minds. But how often we prefer the darkness when we see the light as something that is there for our correction. We don't want to be corrected, and yet God knows how much we need it. And so we ask for the grace to live always as children of the light.